Do you ever feel like the entire meta is aggro decks? Well, we'll be taking advantage of that in today's video. Oh, hi Maya. Meow. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day, and thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel, both myself as well as Miss Maya. Truly appreciate it. We'll be breaking down a new deck that is looking to take advantage of the influx of aggro decks that we see day to day. It's Jeskai Angels. This is a white, red, and blue mid-range tribal-based deck that has, some protection, some removal, and a very generous creature base that we'll be looking to take advantage of. Breaking that deck list down for you within the video in depth, discussing the strategies as well as synergies, providing you with a deeper understanding of how to pilot this deck effectively. Yeah? Then we'll demonstrate against the best decks as well as players in-game via our Mythic Ranked gameplay footage. It literally does not get better than this. Concluding with our final thoughts, channel news, and everything else that we can possibly think of for you today. Thank you again. I truly appreciate it. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and the community Discord is always open. We'd love to have a new friend. Kick back, relax, enjoy, and let's take a look at the new deck.
It's a new lap record!
Jeskai Angels has a new addition thanks to the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and this consists of the Archangel of Tithes. 4 mana for a 3/5 flying. Pretty good. Furthermore, when it's untapped, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless they pay 1 for each of those creatures. Now, keep in mind, this is a non-legendary that can stack. We love it. And as long as it is attacking, creatures can't block unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. Now, because we have flying, this isn't really relevant, but potentially in a mirror match can become so. And then, it's just a new card here and there. 3 steps ahead. One of my favorite in the set. 1 mana at instant with Spree, +2, counter target spell, +3, create a copy of target creature that you control or artifact, which is really quite nice. And then finally, +2, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Well, that's not terrible either. Keep in mind, you can pick multiple modes if you have the mana. Now, this is in deck to stop field wipes. We have removal. You don't really have to counter any of their creatures, any of their planeswalkers. Maybe an artifact. We don't have coverage there. However, most artifacts are irrelevant anyways. Am I right? So really, this is being held on to until mid or late game, where it's stopping a field wipe, and hopefully you can utilize some additional modes within that cast. Like I said, the creatures, the planeswalkers are going to be no problem, and even the enchantments. We have Strangle and Get Lost, really nice coverage here. 3 damage to creature or planeswalker, 1 mana sorcery speed within Strangle. Lost is 2 mana instant speed as well, taking care of enchantments, creatures, or planeswalkers. The owner of the removed target will create 2 map tokens which can explore, which is relevant in some games, but typically the removal is gonna be our priority. And again, try to take everything with Strangle and only commit to a Get Lost if you can't block that creature, right? If there's no other way to take it, or that permanent, because obviously it's going to take enchantments and planeswalkers as well. But try to prioritize the planeswalkers first and foremost with attacks, right? You can attack planeswalkers really easy, remove the creatures, right? You can't remove, of course, enchantments, so Get Lost is really important in that aspect. Of course, you can counter them, as well as artifacts, but most importantly, stopping field wipes with that, as multiple modes of coverage for you, depending on that matchup. And now that's where it will become important to determine what deck you're playing against, right? Do I need to hold this for a field wipe, or can I actually use it to interact in another way because this deck that I'm playing against does not have it, as an example for you, okay? Moving on, protection. not only through the counterspell, but also through the Defector Mite. 1 mana, 1/1, toxic 1, can't block, can pay 1 Phyrexian white, 2 life, or 1 white mana, tapping itself to choose a color, and then another target creature we control will gain toxic 1 and hexproof from that color until the end of turn. It can also can't be blocked by creatures of that color, so some evasion through potential unblockable, which is really, really nice late game, early game protecting into the mid game as well. And maybe that's going to open up a lethal attack for you. A core card of the deck, Font of Hope for 2 is a 2/2 with flying and vigilance, and other angels you control will enter the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel that you already control. So really paying off for the total number of angels that we control. Really nice compound effect here. We can tap it to add 1 mana, casting an angel spell. So attack with your vigilance, then tap it for the cast most times, which is really nice. And we're also utilizing the Resplendent Angel, which is really nice, but more on that later. Ideally, it's going to be a turn 1 Mite, a turn 2 Hope, a turn 3 Vindicator via the Hope's mana ability, at which point this will be a 5/3 with flying, lifelink, ward 2. Okay, and then the Angel comes in on turn 4. You'll have 5 available mana. Turn 4. 5 available mana. I said that right. I think. So you'll have some interaction alongside that because, you'll use the Font of Hope for a mana, 2 from your pool. You'll have 2 leftover mana, which is nice. You can remove one of their creatures and potentially protect with a Mite without having to pay life. At which point, your Vindicator attacks, dealing 5 damage, gaining you 5 life. That's going to trigger your Angel, making the token. And of course, if the Font of Hope is in play, it will be a 7/7, which is absolutely ridiculous. Keep in mind your Resplendent will enter as a 5/5. Or maybe only a 6/6. 5/3, and then this gets 2 to 5/5, and then it will be a 6/6. Yeah, sorry, 6/6, not 7/7. Nonetheless, very, very good. We also have the ability to pay 6 mana to give the Angel +2/+2 and lifelink to have it self-trigger, which is decent. We can also apply life gain with an Angelfire Ignition for 3, sorcery speed with flashback from the grave for 4, putting 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It's going to gain vigilance, lifelink, indestructible, and haste until the end of turn, auto-triggering the Angel, which is really nice. Additional value generation through the Errant and Giada, 3 mana, 2/3 with flash and flying. Nice to hold up alongside our interaction. We have the counter magic, we have that get lost, both at instant speed, which is nice. And if we don't need to do that, we do this. Typically, also acting as a flash blocker with 3 toughness and 2 power is pretty decent as well this early on in game. And of course, you can look at spells from the top of your library and cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. And it is a flying based deck, so all of our creatures except the Mite can be cast off the top, giving us what is virtual card advantage through the protection of our hand, not playing a card from it typically, right, from the top instead. And then we have the Steel Seraph. It can give life gain or vigilance or flying, but we already have flying on everyone, to a target creature at the beginning of combat. It itself is a 3/3 for 3 or a 5/4 for 6, depending on whether or not we utilize the prototype. Again, this is pretty decent, and it can help the Resplendent Angel trigger. The Law Above is our final creature for 5 as a 4/4 with flying, vigilance, and haste. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. And whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, you're going to deal 3 damage to each of your opponents and gain 3 life. This is really good. It has haste, can be one of those attackers, and then it's also simultaneously shutting down your opponent or de-incentivizing them from a larger attack alongside the Archangel. Okay, so this is very nice. We will incorporate the Cavern of Souls, remaining uncounterable with Angel as our creature type, and then focusing on 3-color consistency with our dual lands And thanks to the release of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, it becomes much, much friendlier. Utility lands, Empire City, Defiance, and our single basic planes, which we probably should have more of, but we'll talk about that when we wrap up. In case something does get destroyed, in case a Cavern of Souls gets destroyed, right? We're going to be running a 2.9 average on 26 land. So there's plenty of land. More on that as we review the deck after today's gameplay footage. But first, we have to kind of discover how it's performing, and then we'll discuss how we can improve it as always. So thank you so much for hanging out through the deck tech portion of the video. It truly means a lot. Leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Kick back, relax. Let's play some games. All right. Nice hand. Hello. Not terrible. Honestly, kind of been thinking about Virtue a little bit. Maybe that could go in the deck. Just take what we can when we can. I know there's bigger threats, but we just have to get after it. Ooh. No white land. Okay, interesting. It's a Boros deck. This is going to come in handy. We need white land. We have counter magic. We also have a blocker. The blocker's going to be best. Free value. Not too shabby. Okay, that's an angel. And this should shut down their deck. Start grinding. Nice. Angel off the top. I think that counter magic is nice. Good game. I couldn't agree more. I don't know who the good game was for. Like, if it was for them, they would scoop up, right? After saying it. And also after me reciprocating it. But if they think they're going to win, man, it's just a damn shame. Oh. It's double blue. That is a damn shame. Don't tell anyone. Do a little draw discard, maybe. Ooh, that's good too. Okay, now we have to beat them. We have 6 next turn, which is great. 7 with the hope. Double blue is up. Should have tapped the hope, my bad. Just double down maybe? Let's say screw it. That's a lot of mana to pay. Okay, let's attack first. And then I don't really care if they're playing the recruiters, because I have to pay 2 for each creature. Right? It's literally irrelevant. You can attack with one creature. Go for it, dude. Man. They don't. I don't think they know. They're about to know real quick here. I don't think this will allow it through, right? I don't think it'll go. Rejected! All right. Opponent's going to go first. Let's keep... Let's keep the hand. It's not terrible. Let's pretend that this removal is going to be important. And, well, it would appear that yes. In fact, it will be. We also are curving into 4 perfectly. No protection available. Yet. Okay. You might be removal. But I don't think so. For I shall Mite instead. Next turn's only 3, but that'll be counter magic. No, it will not be. Look at your land base. I don't think the course is important. I would rather keep my Strangle. Something with double strike. You know? It exists. The Jawbone Duelist. A Mite, perhaps? Can provide additional toxic. Ooh. Okily dokily. Gzz. First target has been eliminated. I'll attack. You know, I have no problem with that. Oh, sure you do. I guess. I mean, that's a spell to use in a game of Magic, for sure. Last time I checked, you could cast it. I mean, that flashback's going to be there regardless. And if we did it now, well, yeah. I don't know. I guess. They could explore on the Mite token, and I don't like that, I guess is, you know, my point of view. Well, we can easily defend that. This could be really important. I'm going to take it. Just have fun. Up to 3, it's not terrible. Okay. Angel, we're in. We out here, homie. And now, you know, it's a blocker and we still have removal. We just took the 2 damage, which I don't think is really what they're going for with the deck. I truly think it's those poison or toxic counters, so... you know, it's only 1. Let's get that Defender out, and, you know, maybe we can go from there. What you doing over there, Willis? Okay. Okay, I see you. There's no way they have another spell, is there? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All is well. No counter magic up still. Bit of a bummer. We have removal. But I think I'd rather defend in this instance. Well, and removal. Being very careful. Good game. And it's going to be enough. Just, you know, they know that it's going to be very hard to get through. We're not willing to make any mistakes. We'll grind it out, and we do have a lot on the back end to secure the win. All right, going first. Our favorite turn 2. Mono black, flavor of the day. There's not much we can do about it, though. Just try to execute around their limitless removal. It's ridiculous. Every single game is mono black. Oh, wow. It's pretty cool. So yesterday was all mono red, and we're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make this... this anti-aggro deck. And we have been met with 90% mono black matchups. It's kind of crazy. What are you doing? Oh, never mind. I thought it was the same card. What they're doing is like, damn well, please, HGG. Should we go right for it? I think we should. We should not wait. Just get it. Just get it while you can. Maybe that takes... their removal away. It could be like a Lockthorn Scorn that they're top decking or, going for something, right? Maybe they were being greedy and they wanted Vlad in first so they could get the crime counter. And now we've dodged it. Sometimes it works out in your favor, but it's like more so noticing the matchmaker. Okay, good removal. That's fine. We've got a block. No problem. I'm going to take out Vladdy boy. No life gain for you. And then this is going to be nice next turn for Aurelia. Let's hit for 4. Vigilance can still block. Down to 11. See how fast your turns can be? Yeah, but look how much you misplay, HGG. You settle. Don't bring that up. More removal? No way. You're a legend. Nice. Good for you. Will I block? No. Hit for 9? Sadly. Dang, dude. You're a legend, Larry. This is great because, well, A, it is vigilance, but B, its ability when they attack. We almost have lethal, right? Down to 1. 3 damage. We gain 3 life. Oh, they just straight up have another removal spell off the top. I am impressed. Of course, we have lethal, but I am impressed. Dang. Very nice.
All right, opponent's going to go first. Let's keep 7.
Let's see if we can make anything work here. Maybe. Looking for 4th and 5th land. It's pretty slow also. Fourth acquired. They've got some goodies going on here for shizzle. Ooh. Worth taking the turn off. Without a doubt. Oh, without a doubt. No, you go. Don't you dare. Why? Have you lost your mind? Or they just have a second spell? It's a massive hit still. I wonder why Vran's not attacking. They think I'm going to block the trade? Not a million years. Oh, it's a Mardu deck? Look out, world. Oh my gosh. 5 available mana. Just an itty bitty. It's a 5/3. And then we can play Resplendent and obviously have that trigger. Ah, that's not good. What a wannabe card. How do you expect to win the game like that? They're like this? Whatever. I'm not blocking. You wish. You wish. Give me a land. Give me a land. Give me a land. Give me a land. Thank you. That is our 6th land. Yeah. An Angel. And then we could Giada, but I think I'm going to exile some stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Make another, of course. Whatever. I think we should be okay. Stop it, dude. You're such a bully. Why won't you leave me alone? Black. You have another? No. You should have taken... Well, this is non-artifact is the problem. And that's an artifact is the problem. That must be unfortunate. They're like, well, now this one's got ward, can't take it. This has got ward, can't take it. You can take the 7/7. And they your 3rd go for the throat, really? Wow. Wow. Is that a big hit or what? 8-10 on the Swangle? You know, just if only I cared. It's fun not to have to care. Oh, another land. It's beautiful. Angel. Flip over for 2. I wonder which creatures we'll take. If I could just think it through. Bye. Easy win, right? That's a top 1600 player. Are you sure? No, I'm just kidding. Great game, bro. Going first, plenty of land in deck. We should have really no problem finding one. Playing our slow land first. Fast land in next, and really just 3 drops, a 4-drop. Really, really slow. Truly. Let's hold up the guise of control / counter magic. Most likely falling into removal. There's a Mite on top. See? Only 2 white sources. So it's not going to be a double cast of any form. Still looking to ramp though, however. Ooh, Lily. Why do this? So competitive, dog. It's really good. This helps quite a bit. That will allow us to double cast. Ooh, turn 3 Lily, turn 4 Sheoldred. What was it? Turn 2 removal. What an absolute Chad. A Chadzilla. I just want the life gain, sadly. I'm not proud of it. Oh! It pays. It pays. Nice, dude. Let's just take life gain. We're not going to block anyways, so this can just pad our total. Okay. Ready for a field wipe now? Why do you punish yourself like that? Hey! Fine. Do they have more? Do they have a secondary removal spell in hand? Oh my god. You think that's funny? Alright, alright, alright. They tried baiting us into a block. Not having it. This is 1,000 times better. Oh, all block now. Yeah. Sorry, Sheoldred. That was like the perfect play line too. And we're actually able to stay above it. Very, very impressive. Truly, they were hitting all of the notes. Oh, don't worry. I've got a few more notes to hit here. They can take our steel with a minus. Yeah, yeah, they will. Big tough guy, huh? Big tough. Do we just leave Sheoldred there and kill that? Sorry, take Sheoldred and kill that. Because, this is much better. Then they're both dealt with, right? They do have the land. We're at 17, though. Lethal next turn. Mosswood for the draw. Down to 6, looking for a field wipe. Land out, no dice. Good game, dog. 2, 3, 4. Tap land in first. A Selesnya land. Oh, doubling down on it? Interesting. Let's play it immediately. I don't want to go too hard in. Could be a field wipe, specifically a temporary lockout. So I'm going to hold this Mite for now. Play first, attack. Because if we attack, they remove it, which I kind of thought was going to happen. For 2, then we wouldn't have really received that plus counter. So just trying to force it. Reanimator, control deck, just the Naya deck probably. We should progress full steam. Which I don't think will be hard with this hand. It's always important to know what your opponent's playing first. I think this is the fight rigging deck, so we're good to go. I'm not sure we will see a field wipe. Okay, the Appraiser. It's pretty good, but it's not. There's fight rigging. I find you. So once we know it's not a control variant, or suspect that, we can kind of move in a little bit more aggressively. Three Resplendent Angels. I'm sure that's fine. I mean, they could have it. That's what kind of deck this is. Don't you dare. So they get the flip, but what is it, right? Is it game winning? It's not. Okay, I see you. I see you, homie. No blocks. Take the damage. It's on the ground, so I'm not really defending anyways. And we have 6 with removal on Terror. A little bit of extra damage with the haste attacker. It's going to get us to the finish line, I believe, with the Mite to protect. Shuffler, are you feeling okay today? 4 Resplendent Angels in the top 13. Very interesting. Good game. All right, on the draw. Land is definitely here. Mite on 1. Not bad either. Jack attack. That's funny. I had a friend growing up whose nickname was that. Jack attack 12. Oh, man. Great. Anytime. Interesting. Okay. Classic Jack attack, you know? I'll attack. You know the drill. We must survive. Okay, not terrible. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, they are not doing it. Gonna bring the ruckus. All right, pass turn. We might get away with it. I mean, we're lucky it's not hard to accomplish. We did, I believe, go first. So that gives us like a little bit of additional wiggle room. They hit for 5. It's fine. 11 life. Okay. Make it 7. 9 life. Make it 9. 7 life. I am not impressed. I hope they're pleased with themselves. Dang, bro. That was a nice sequence. Bushwhack with prowess. Very cool. Why not hard-hitting question, though? I swear to God. And you have another spell in your hand, don't you? Of course you do. Classic, right? Monstrous Rage. Isn't that wild? Jeskai Angels. Not terrible. 3 steps ahead is an interesting addition to the build, helping us survive field wipes while supplying potential card draw. Copying our Angels is really good. I mean, you know, we've got some pretty decent non-legendaries here. The Vindicator, the Steel Seraph, Resplendent Angel for the ability. You know, it's just like there's some meat in the seats. Even if you need to stop your opponent from attacking, that's going to be an option, right? So, you know, there's the argument is like, well, should we be running 3 steps ahead or No More Lies? And I think it's 3 steps ahead just through the additional value that can be generated. It's a little bit more expensive on that counterspell, requires a double blue, which is a little tricky here. But I think that we can circumvent that disadvantage through our mana base. Look at that, maybe tweak it up a little bit, because I do think that the ceiling on this card is far higher than No More Lies. Okay, so I think that's a very nice addition to the deck. I'm also loving the Archangel. Could not be happier. An absolute beautiful card to shut down aggro decks. They literally are going to be forced to scoop, which is pretty funny. And, you know, it's like that turn that they're not it's important to them because we have life gain, right? We can apply so much pressure and, you know, also grab some of that tempo back through the life gain simultaneously, right? So if they're missing an attack or two, oh, game, dude. So, you know, that's really nice. Whether or not we need 4 copies is up for discussion. And then, you know, literally forcing the matchmaker into control in mid-range matches, which I found kind of funny, but, you know, still having fun with it in the times that it did work. And we already know that this deck dominates aggro decks. Great. That's, you know, let's try to make it also good against the other decks or archetypes that we'll see within, you know, Mythic rank. So it's not just about stomping on aggro decks, even though that's a lot of fun. So that's why today's gameplay was actually really nice. You know, it's easy to be like, oh, you know, this sucks, but that's where the data is collected that we're looking for, right? Because we do need to perform against all archetypes, right? Not just the aggro deck. So the control deck was a hard one to beat, right? You know, the haste is nice if we get the mana up to stop the field wipe. That was pretty decent as well. Control decks in general are tough, right? So some more card draw could be pretty decent here. You know, where the Archangel's, you know, not really doing much in that matchup for us. Something that could generate more card advantage would be preferable. You know, I'm all ears, of course. The Font of Hope's not bad, but I just didn't find it to be enough. Maybe we also go more instant speed. You know, the Virtue of Courage is not bad. Instant speed works really well with 3 steps ahead. You know, Strangle is really good bang for your buck. I wouldn't mind getting it at instant speed as well. You know, maybe even if it goes down to a play with fire, which I'm not a fan of. But, you know, if we could just build around instant speed, focus in on flash a little bit more, and then potentially curve out a little bit later against the control decks, right? Once we are protected, that could be beneficial. But just to try to fold in and race is true. It's a coin flip. You know, are they going to get this counter spell off? Are we, you know, through the caverns, whether we get it or not? You know, are they curving into a field wipe before we have our counter magic available, right? So, and then, you know, like how are these top decks going to go after the fact? So, you know, I think we could probably improve a little bit against the control deck. Maybe cutting, you know, a little bit. The 4-drops are really good against the aggro decks and the mid-range deck as well here, but some more protection, you know, maybe a slip out the back, right? Some cheap protection. Yeah, control decks are tough. Maybe just more counter magic, right? There's so much removal. It is hard to consistently have that protection though, because how many protection spells are you going to be running, right? Like it's very hard to keep up. I'd love your feedback on that control matchup if we can make that any better. More card draw, I guess, you know, is the biggest thing. Maybe if our removal was damage based, and instead of, you know, for example, having a Strangle that's taking out a Planeswalker, maybe, you know, we've got a Play with Fire that does direct damage, and that is enough reach accumulatively with the attacks that we're getting through to maybe close out the game, something like this. And, you know, we Play with Fire, Lightning Helix, they're options, right? Even potentially maybe an Archangel of Wrath's chip damage can add up for us. Crimson Pulse, we like the card draw as well, but, you know, how often do you have an empty hand? It's pretty rare, and it's definitely not a creature. So, but in a control match, you know, that is going to help us, but then they're just going to remove that too. So let me know what you think on that front. As far as the deck goes, pretty decent. You know, let's try to improve our coverage again against those other archetypes, but absolutely loving the Angels build and really enjoying the Archangel of Tithes alongside 3 steps. You know, other new cards that I'm considering, Final Showdown. You know, maybe this is our protection, and it also doubles down as like a control card, and, you know, now the Strangle and Get Lost maybe aren't so important because we can wipe the field, and we could, you know, just like 3 steps ahead is very versatile and has multiple modes, and kind of fulfills the role of what could potentially be multiple cards. So does Showdown, and we can condense the deck a little bit maybe. Great Train Heist. You know, I love it, but I'm just not sure that it's good enough for us. I don't think we're that aggro, but, you know, it's definitely pretty cool. And, you know, having another combat phase, if you're swinging with these bulky Angels, it just needs more testing. I just need more time with it. I think we can make it work. I just was struggling, right? But we'll see. Again, No More Lies. It's great. It's a little bit faster. You don't need the double blue, but you know, it's just not working for us. Lightning Helix in that same note is a little bit harder to cast, but I think probably better long term, as we do have reach now available. The ramp we did end up cutting. You know, the curve's not terrible, and we ended up taking more land, which I do think we should trim back. 26 seemed to be too much. Let's take that down to 25. That's going to open up a slot for us, and, you know, even just land for Ironcrag would be fine if you wanted, because then you're not necessarily losing the ramp, but maybe you're not flooding as much, and it does have some utility with that +3/+3. Food for thought. Okay. Of course, you know, you're welcome to adjust your land total as well. So that's all we have for new cards. Of course, the new lands are included. Running 26 for consistency on a 2.9, but I think that we could trim back a little bit, and then we could brick every game, right? No, I'm just kidding. It is hard to find that sweet spot, but I'm gonna next test with 25. You've made it to the end, so I want to, you know, let you know that the deck list is gonna have 26, and by all means adjust that. A lot of people don't watch to the end. They're just like, give me that deck list, and then I don't know how to play the deck, and let's go, right? So not you though. You know how to play the deck. You watched me make all my mistakes, so you won't make them. And I've given you a little bit of an inside line as to where I'm taking the deck next. Yeah? Thank you for watching. I hope you have a magical day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Jump in the Discord. Introduce yourself. We'd love to have you as well. And I'll see you soon in the next